Test, test. Franciscan on Monday night. Destiny Johnson has been the catalyst for this Thiel Tomcat team moving forward. Tip controlled by the Tomcats. And here we go. Bison coming out straight man-to-man. As we saw the last two games, they've shown this trap where they come out straight man-to-man. Here, wide open, look under the basket for Thiel. And that one's laid up and in by Rachel Callis, the 5'8 freshman out of Edinburgh, Pennsylvania.
Just miscommunication there from the Bison, letting Callis get him like that.
Molly Grayson getting things going for the Bison offensively. It was a slow start to the game against Waynesburg, scoring just 7 in that first quarter on Tuesday night. They got to get off to a better start here tonight He'll have that same success. Mackenzie Mason the drive, right hand layup, up and good. Nice hesitation by Mason on the drive. Nice job by Thiel breaking this press. Ball stolen by Kelsey Montel, and the Bison are running. Montel in transition will kick it to Heap. Heap will give it to Montel on the low block. He'll swing. Amali Grayson triple up. All pass and couldn't hit. Rebound controlled by India Johnson. Which we mentioned, Rob Clune's team, another young bunch just like the Bison, as they really play behind the girl in the middle, Destiny Johnson, and their perimeter threat, Rachel Breckenridge, averaging 11 points on the season out of Burton, Ohio. She was one of the premier three-point shooters in all of the PAC just a season ago.
Absolutely, and the Bison have to find a way to control her.
Mackenzie Mason using the high ball screen from Montel. Montel drop step over the left shoulder, couldn't get it to go. Down was controlled by Phillips. Thiel pushing in transition. That layup is up and good. Emily Harriman getting out in transition. Bison working it around the perimeter. Grayson working. Alexis Heap will take a long two. She hits nothing. Offensive rebound saved by Mackenzie Mason, and Kelsey Montel able to lay it in.
Great job there by Montel.
Ball tossed out of bounds. It was India Phillips losing it for Thiel.
Saw a bit of a court press from the Bison there.
Molly Grayson using the mind screen. She'll stutter step into the lane. Scoop shot with the right hand is up and good. Molly Grayson getting into the paint. Bison once again coming out showing this press. Thiel doing a nice job handling it, and they'll reset with Harriman at the top. Destiny Johnson gets downhill. They're going to call it on the floor. As you see, she was getting ready to gallop her way into the lane. Interesting matchup to watch looking forward here for the Bison. They've got Alexis Heap going up against Destiny Johnson, and that should be a fun one to watch all afternoon as Kelsey Montel sends it out of bounds with a right-hand swat. Thiel will inbound it with 16 left to go on shot clock.
Yeah, Montel definitely wasn't allowing that one to get through.
Harriman the inbound. She's going to do something with it. She's able to inbound it to Breckenridge, and that's where they'll start with 13 left on the shot clock. Harriman called out instructions. Phillips with it. Phillips free throw line is good. India Phillips doing a nice job getting to that elbow and knocking it through. A back and forth affair here to start. This is a 6-6 start with 6:30 left to go here in the opening quarter. Bison playing the second of the third game in 5 nights. As Destiny Johnson gets the defensive rebound and pushes for Thiel. Johnson puts it down and goes coast to coast. Destiny Johnson showing her prowess in the open court. And got to watch Drew moving forward. Destiny Johnson has the ability to definitely take over a basketball game at any time.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, without her in the pregame, the Bison have to do a good job of controlling her.
Beautiful kick from Heap, and Molly Grayson drains a left corner triple. It's a nice job by Heap keeping her head up. Drive. Bison get a steal. They're running out in transition. Montel works it. Montel to the cup, and they're going to get an offensive foul. Charge going to be by Emily Harriman, the 5'3" guard out of Geneva, Ohio, and substitutions will check in for both teams. It'll be Nikki Bradbury and Courtney Walker checking in for the Bison.
We saw the first of many indications from Coach Sansom down there on the sidelines, heavily disagreeing with that charge ball.
Bison coming out showing this 1-2-2 press with Bella Scoble at the head of it. Her going to make things difficult for opposing offenses. Niala Jones running the point for Thiel. 18 left on the shot clock. They're doing some trap. Jones will get it inside. They'll find Phillips. Phillips working with it. 9 on the shot clock. Pass inside, layup no good. It's good defense by Courtney Walker and Bradbury pushing for the Bison. With it. Mason splits through a double team and she's fouled. Mackenzie Mason getting things done, attack it up, and she lives at the free throw line. Drew Von Sayo entering tonight's contest, the #2 free throw shooter in the entire conference.
And the one thing I wanted out there was her ability to regain control of the ball. Looked like she was stumbling a bit, driving into the paint. Now found a way to grab a hold of it again and draw the foul.
Yeah, during that Mackenzie Mason free throw, we had a subject in for the Bison, sophomore Macy Sheena out of Independence, Kentucky. She's worked her way into this rotation the last 2 games, giving the Bison some really strong minute 4 off the bench. 11-8 lead for the Bison here to start. 5:04 left to go here in the opening quarter. Good defense there. That time it was Mackenzie Mason, excuse me. Allowing the back cut to get through. It'll be Niala Jones to inbound. Layup good that time by Collis, excuse me. Thiel to regain control. Off the glass and in, Niala Jones, the 5'2" sophomore. A 5-foot sophomore out of Baltimore, Maryland. Bradbury lines up a triple and she hits. That time Thiel not getting back there in transition. Keep Bradbury making it pay.
I mean, she's the three-point shooter on this team. You get her wide open, and she made the Tomcats pay for that one.
Yeah, Bradbury coming off a solid performance on Tuesday night against Waynesburg. Knocked in 4 triples. And the bake is open. The Thiel Tomcats, as this time it's India Phillips using the glass on the deuce. It's a 1-point lead to start. Sheena working with it. Sheena working against Phillips. Sheena to the basket. Couldn't finish. And Jones will get the rebound. It's a nice move there, but not displaying some fancy football there in the low post. 3-pointers up from Breckenridge. It's no good. Offensive rebound controlled. Jones for 3. Couldn't hit. Another offensive rebound controlled by Thiel. And we mentioned in the opener, cannot allow Thiel to get chance opportunities.
Absolutely not. Bison are towards the bottom of the conference in rebounds. Got to find a way to chat here tonight.
Phillips working. Phillips will kick it to Jones. Spot up triple for Jones. Couldn't hit. Grabbing the board. Courtney Walker pushing in transition. Walker to Scoble. Scoble to drive. On Mackenzie Mason. Mason for 3, and it's good. Beautiful execution of the transition offense that time by the playing absolutely unselfish.
The 3-point shots are on tonight for the Bison. Look to see them continue to take advantage of that.
It's going to be a long night for the Thiel Tomcats, and they can't get out on the shooters. They got one of their own. Rachel Breckenridge knocking down another triple.
She came into tonight averaging 11 points a game for these Thiel Tomcats.
And as we mentioned, Thiel, better than their 1-4 record may suggest. 2:36 left to go here, opening quarter. Mackenzie Mason the drive. She'll kick out to Bradbury. That time unable to hit. Rebound tipped into the hands of Scoble. That time it was Macy. She not keeping it alive. And the Bison will have a new shot clock. 10 on the clock. Mason using the Sheenot screen. And Mason fouled as she tried to get downhill. Subs will check in. It'll be Alexis Reed coming in. Molly Grayson to re-enter the fray as well. Ball stolen by Destiny Johnson off the inbound. Look out. Destiny Johnson off the steal and one. Destiny Johnson. We mentioned it. You know, she plays just a little bit different than anybody else in the conference. Her movements are just, you know, so special for a girl her size. And For her to be able to push the ball coast to coast at her size, I mean, it's impressive and tough to deal with.
Absolutely, and we've seen this before from the Bison where they struggle to inbound the ball in the offensive half of the court, and they've got to find a way to change that going into the conference tournament.
That Destiny Johnson and one will put Thiel out in front by 2. Bison working it around. They've got 20 on the clock. Bison working it around. 7 on the clock. They got to get something going. High ball screen coming from Sheenot. Reed will kick it to Courtney Walker. No good. Rebound controlled by Thiel. Destiny Johnson will push it. It's a 2-point Tomcat lead here with 1:35 left to go here in the opening quarter. Destiny Johnson thought about a triple. She'll drive and kick. Thiel working it down inside. Layup, no good. Ball will go out of bounds off Sheenot, and possession will stay with the Tomcats. And that time, Drew, another example. Bison got to control that first defensive rebound. Now Thiel gets 20 more seconds to try to score it.
Absolutely. Just got to control it off the glass.
Freaking Rich throws it down inside, and they're going to call a charge. That time, Molly Grayson stepping in front of Rebecca Litz, drawing the charge. Subs will check in for the Bison. It's Bella Scoble, Mackenzie Mason, and Kelsey Mintel. As we mentioned Tuesday night, it was Mackenzie Mason and Nikki Bradbury leading the way offensively for the Bison. They'll throw it inside to Mintel. Mintel working. Good ball movement. It'll find Nikki Bradbury. Line me up. Nikki Bradbury catching fire here in this first quarter.
A great job by Bradbury getting that open space to shoot that one. She sent that one right down Main Street.
Breckenridge thought about a triple. They'll throw it inside. Litz, a good move over the right shoulder, getting it to go. Looks like the shot clock will be off. This will be the final possession of the first quarter. Thiel has jumped out to a 1-point lead here with 18 seconds left to go here in quarter 1. Nikki Bradbury, right corner triple. Couldn't hit. Rebound controlled by Thiel. Destiny Johnson pushing. She's got 7 seconds. Johnson the drive. Behind the back. Step back triple. Destiny Johnson couldn't hit. And that is how we will end this first quarter. Bison caught fire from downtown, but it was Destiny Johnson getting things done for the Thiel Tomcats defensively as well as in the open court, and she's got them out to a 21-20 lead after the first quarter.
Absolutely. Already 5 points on the night here for Destiny Johnson. The Bison have to find a way to control her.
Yeah, and it was Molly Grayson for the Bison. 5 points there in that opening quarter. Nikki Bradbury had 6 points, knocking down 2 triples, and Mackenzie Mason filled in 7 points on her own. So they buy their freshman cast to start quarter number 1.
They spread the ball around too amongst all of those freshmen. It wasn't just one leading the way. 3 of the 7 on this young Bison squad heavily contributing in that opening quarter.
Yeah, the big message from Coach Sansom going in here to quarter number 2 has got to be, look, we've been harping on it all season. Yeah, night and day comparison to the first quarter that the Bison had on Tuesday night against Waynesburg, where they put up just 7. Fast forward 48 hours, and they've got 20 points here in quarter number 1 and are on pace for 80 points.
That's something you don't see every day.
Bison will open the quarter with Molly Grayson, Mackenzie Mason, Nikki Bradbury, Bella Scholl, Kelsey Mintel. They'll have 17 on the clock. Good from Mackenzie Mason as Kelsey Mintel able to finish. It's a nice job by Mason keeping her head up on the drive, finding an open teammate.
It was all about the awareness, and Mason showed veteran skill level awareness on that one.
Nyala Jones will take a triple. She's way off. Montel controls it. Coach Sansom urging his team to push. Big collision there from two Tomcats. Nonetheless, Molly Grayson open for three, and she makes him pay.
Rachel Breckenridge was slow to get up there in that collision with Destiny Johnson.
So we'll get an official's timeout. They check on Rachel Briggs to make sure she's okay after the tough collision with Destiny Johnson. Molly Grayson knocking in a triple. In the meantime, that'll push this Bison lead to 4. Tomcats working it around. Breckenridge thought about a triple. Pass to boy, it's two different basketball teams that we've seen. You know, the one in the first half against Waynesburg on Tuesday night compared to the squad we're seeing here tonight. They have been absolutely on fire from downtown here in this first half.
This is the Bethany Bison team that we all know and love. Great job by them putting Tuesday night behind them.
Scoble will use the Montel high ball screen. She'll pull it back. Scoble's got the mismatch here working on Phillips. She'll give it up to Grayson. Bison working it around. Scoble working. Scoble working against Phillips. Molly Grayson will take a triple. It's blocked. Montel with 3 seconds. Puts it up. Unable to hit the rim. And that is how Thiel will regain possession. We're going to get a Rob Clune timeout. One of the 30-second variety here as we take a second here, Drew, to look at the PAC standings here. Bison have this game tonight and then Saturday's game left. If the PAC playoffs were to start today, they would be the 6th seed right now, holding a record of 3-4. As we mentioned on Saturday afternoon, the defending PAC women's champion Grove City Wolverines will come to town. That game, a makeup game for earlier in the season, as Coach Shelly Foose will bring her undefeated squad in a humble field house.
With the Bison being the 6th seed right now, that would send them to St. Vincent in the second round of the conference tournament. We talked about that being a potential playoff matchup a couple days back when we called that one.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, you know, the poor shooting from Saturday night against St. Vincent carried over into Tuesday night, but they don't look to be wearing the effects of it here this evening as they have come out red hot. Long three, no good. Tell the board. Molly Grayson pushing. Mackenzie Mason does a nice job getting Scoble open. Mason thought about it. We'll find Montel. Montel left hand. Couldn't get it to go. Destiny Johnson will push. Johnson nearly lost that one. Ball will go out of bounds. Looked like it went off the leg of Breckenridge. Thiel has struggled to protect the basketball here in this game. They've had some forced errors to the pleasure of the Bison.
That's a great job by Nikki Bradbury right there, slapping that one off the leg of Breckenridge.
That's a nice job there by Molly Grayson identifying the mismatch. Bella Scoble working against the much smaller Nyala Jones in the post, making her pay. Bison sending that trap. They'll swing it to Breckenridge. She'll find it. Rachel Breckenridge hitting bottom one more time. Got to get a handout on Breckenridge, as she is making the Bison pay here in this first half. Her third triple.
Bison's focus so far has been on controlling Destiny Johnson. She was the big name coming to this one, but they've got to have a second eye on Breckenridge.
And if I'm the Bison, beautiful pocket pass from Nikki Bradbury as Kelsey Montel able to finish. Boy, Johnson looked like she wasn't expecting that pass, but gets it. Johnson pushing, putting her head down, and she's going to be called for the travel. Subs set to check in for Thiel and the Bison. It'll be Alexis Heap and Courtney Walker for the green and white. And Emily Harriman will check back in for the Tomcats. It's a 5-point Bethany lead over Thiel, 32-27. 5:40 count and counting left to go here in the opening half. Montel puts it on the floor. Courtney Walker also joining in on the 3-point party here at Hummel Fieldhouse, as the Bison have been on fire from downtown here in this opening half.
If you're going to be hot from the three, spread the wealth.
Spreading the wealth they did. That time Molly Grayson picking up the helper. Phillips working. Bison have their largest lead of the night at 8 points. Nowhere to go. Tough shot put up. Offensive rebound nearly controlled by Thiel. Molly Grayson comes up with it. Bison with a chance to extend this lead to double digits on this. Destiny Johnson nearly gets another steal. Flexible work with it. And Coach Ryan Sansom going to take a timeout to talk things over with his squad. And that time, Drew, they're a little careless with basketball. They nearly lost it on a couple possessions.
Absolutely. Destiny Johnson did a great job sticking her hand in there, blocking that pass, almost creating a turnover. And like you said, the Bison will get that one back.
Yeah, it's been a red hot start from downtown for the Bison. That's pretty much been the story in this one. 53.8% from deep, 7 of 13 are the Bison here in this first half downtown. Rachel Breckenridge on the other end for Thiel, knocking down 3 of her own in that first.
Interestingly enough, Breckenridge has been the leading scorer here for the Tomcats tonight. Coming in, we expected it fully to be Destiny Johnson. Breckenridge making them pay for that one.
Definitely. Alexis inbound. She'll get it into Scoble. Scoble will use the Montel screen. Kicked out to Walker. She wasn't ready to shoot. 4 on the clock. Courtney Walker take a triple. It's there. Courtney Walker finding her stroke from downtown. Her second triple of the second quarter. It'll extend this Bison lead to 11. Breckenridge a triple. No good. Close out by Alexis Heap. Bison pushing. Courtney Walker. Short jumper is no good. And boy, I would have loved for her to pull up for that 3 there in transition, as she had plenty of space.
Without a doubt, and it appeared as if she rushed jumper.
Harriman working it over to Phillips. Good job by Montel in rotation. Knocking that one out of bounds. We'll see Taylor Stinnett check in for the first time. And Stinnett's been playing her tail off the last 2 contests. Putting her hard hat on, going to work. Doing all the dirty work underneath the basket for the Bison.
She's the defensive master for them. When they need a big play, she gets it done.
They're going to get a travel. They got India Phillips this time, and you know, reminiscent of that game Tuesday night against Waynesburg, I thought I was going to wake up here in travels, Drew.
Yeah, I mean, Bison have done a good job so far not falling victim to that like they did Tuesday night. And it appears as if the Tomcats are taking one out of the Yellow Jacket playbook.
Courtney Walker working with it. They're going to get a foul call. We'll Looked like there was some hand checking going on from the get-go there. That time it was Janelle Williams called for the foul. 5'5" freshman guard out of Roseville, Minnesota. It'll be 18 on the shot clock for the Bison. Little two-man game working with Grayson and Scoble. Walker driving. Walker spin move and draws contact, and she'll shoot two.
It was a great job there, Brittany Walker, moving inside, putting her back to the basket, going up for a layup, and in the process drawing a foul.
Yeah, that time she sewed off some sweet feet down there in the paint, getting herself available to get to the free throw line. Walker will hit the first of two. That'll allow a sub to check in. Well, they won't let the sub check in, interestingly enough. It is Alexis Reed at the scorer's table. As Courtney Walker able to drop both free throws. Will push this Bison lead to 13 here. 3:16 and counting left to go here in the first half. It's been a whole lot of Rachel Breckenridge and Destiny Johnson for the Tomcats offensively. Johnson, good split pass, unable to control it. They'll get it out to Williams. 9 on the clock. Johnson will set the high ball screen for Harriman. Turnaround for short, and that's going to be a shot clock violation.
It's just fantastic defense from the Bison there, not allowing a shot until about 1 second left. Hitting that rubber part of the glass, but counting in terms of their shot clock.
Bison working with it. Trying to get it down to Courtney Walker. Walker working with it. Walker will kick to Scoble, top of the key triple, in and out. Harriman will push. Harriman stutter steps, will drive, and an offensive foul going to be called. Taylor Stinnett, she averages about 1 a game, doesn't she, Drew?
She absolutely does. She stood there, stood her ground, knew it was coming, and wasn't afraid to take a bit of contact.
Mackenzie Mason will check back in, giving Belashko a rest. Mason will use the Stinnett screen. Bradbury left wide open in the short deuce. Not hit. And Rob Clune, very animated with the officials, arguing that the Bison screeners were moving. And it's something we've seen him complain about a couple times here this opening half.
He's got to be careful. You know, Tuesday night, the officials very quick to give St. Jones a technical for slamming the table down there near the scorekeepers.
Yeah, it was a fun one to watch on Tuesday night. Bison jumped out ahead there in that third quarter, but one final period began. The Yellow Jackets went on a run that nobody could have anticipated. Bison led by as many as 10 in that contest, but were able to close it out in the waning moments to pick up victory number 3 on the season. They look to make it 2 in a row here as they lead the Tomcats by 13 with 1:40 left to go here in the first half. Williams will take control. Couldn't hit. Rebound controlled by Courtney Walker. She's pushing. Walker with it. Walker will do it herself. Free throw line jumper is good. No one stopped the ball there, and Courtney said, "Don't mind me if I do."
Absolutely. Courtney Walker going coast to coast on that one, uncontested practically.
Courtney Walker's got 10 points here in this first half. She's made her presence felt. Junior out of Moundsville, West Virginia, showing that she's got more than just a 3-point game. Williams left alone again for trouble. badly. Rebound controlled by Stinnett. Bison pushing. Bradbury thought about a triple. Bison will reset. Mackenzie Mason, she'll use the walk-through screen. Mason will kick to Bradbury. Bradbury unable with a hit. Rebound controlled by Thiel. Look at a foul called on Taylor Stinnett as she tried to capture.
That's just an effort foul there from Stinnett. Unfortunate to draw contact in the process.
Yeah, you can't be mad there if you're handsome for that one. And you also can't be mad at that offensive possession the Bison had. Doing a nice job getting their shooters some looks. Just unable to knock it down as they've done most of that first half. 2-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. It's a 15-point lead. Destiny Johnson will take a triple. It's good. Destiny Johnson cut it to 12. Bison 3 seconds to work. Courtney Walker doesn't get the shot off. And that is how we will end that first half. It's a 2-30 lead for the Bison. They were led in that first half by Courtney Walker, who made her presence felt there in that second quarter. Knock it down 2 and get to the charity stripe.
Coach Clune, travel call there at the end on Courtney Walker, walking away from the officials, absolutely disgusted with a lack of call.
Yeah, we've seen the officials come under a bit of scrutiny here the last 2 contests here. Is on Tuesday night, both coaches very animated with their displeasure of calls by the officials. Nonetheless, it is a 12-point lead entering the locker room for the Bison as they are playing their second game in 5 nights. After tonight's contest, they will return home Saturday to conclude the regular season as they host the defending PAC champion City Wolverines. Shelly Fusa's squad coming in undefeated, looking to maintain perfect record heading into the conference tournament.
And as we've heard Coach say before, that game is going to be a measuring stick to determine how well they're playing going into the tournament. You've mentioned it before, wanting to play your best basketball. So it's got to be the best game of the year for the Bison.
Yeah, Bison having one of their better halves of the year here, putting up 42 points, knocking down a couple long balls. They hold a 12-point lead over the Thiel Tomcats here at halftime. We'll see you after the break. the story of the first half for the Bison was their ability to strike from a long range, shooting at 50% in that first half, knocking down 8 of 16 three-point shots.
Absolutely, and we saw them spread the ball around amongst all of their shooters as well. Kelsey Mintel even getting in on the action along with Nikki Bradbury, Mackenzie Mason, and Molly Grayson.
Yeah, and on the opposite end for the Tomcats, they struggled from downtown in that first half, going 4-13. Struggling to find their stroke. Rachel Breckenridge, the bright spot in that first half for the Tomcats. Her and Destiny Johnson keeping things close.
Breckenridge having 3 of 5 shots from downtown.
Breckenridge inbounds, and that is how we will start half number 2. As we bring you the Bison's second game in 5 nights. They were victorious over Waynesburg Tuesday night, trying to make it 2 in a row here. But not if Emily Harriman has anything to say about it as she dances into the lane for 2.
Was a nice reverse layup from Harriman too.
Nice job by Harriman on the finish, and they're going to get a foul called on Harriman as she tried to fight through the Kelsey Mintel screen. It'll be 21 on the clock for the Bison as Molly Grayson will inbound. Bison working it around. Mintel setting a high screen for Mason. Mason pulling it back. Well, they got to try to get the ball back to Kelsey here. She's got Breckenridge on her. Mason using the screen. Mason working with it. Gets it up. Couldn't go. Mintel nearly controlled the offensive rebound, but it's going to go off of Harriman, and that is how possession will stay with the Bison.
And I thought for a split second that one actually went off the right hand of Kelsey Mintel, but somehow going off of Harriman just before it went out of bounds.
He's 17 on the clock for the Bison. Scope had a look from downtown, will drive it. Destiny Johnson ties her up. Possession going to stay here. And Drew, something I'd like the Bison to pay closer attention to is when they get the switch and they're having their bigs posted up on these guards, they got to get them the basketball.
Absolutely. I mean, you have that size matchup. Why not take advantage of it?
Turnover for Bison is Bella Scoble airballed along 3 as the clock wound down. Chance of defense coming from the Bison sideline. Harriman working with it. They'll get it to Destiny Johnson on the right wing. Throws inside to Phillips. 7 on the clock. Breckenridge working. Breckenridge floater from the free throw line couldn't hit. Mackenzie Mason the rebound. She's pushing. Mason with numbers. Mason to Mintel, and that ball will go out of bounds. That time passed too low for Kelsey Mintel to corral. Like the mentality there, though. Mackenzie Mason getting that defensive rebound, and her first thought is to push. Let's get it up.
Right mentality, just got to find a way to get a better feed into Mintel.
Call it on the floor there. As Rachel Cowlis was grabbed coming off of the screen.
Got Bella Scoble on that one. She's coming out now for Courtney Walker.
Emily Harriman inbound. With 20 seconds on the clock for Thiel. Finds Phillips under the basket. She couldn't finish. Gets her own rebound. Nice job by Mackenzie Mason tying up the ball.
Even though the possession arrow points in favor of the Tomcats, that could have easily led to an easy shot there from the Tomcats.
Harriman inbound, this time 18 on the shot clock. They inbound it to Phillips. Breckenridge thought about a triple. They'll get it to Destiny Johnson. She loses it. Johnson will throw it over to Harriman with 7 on the clock. Harriman the drive. Harriman will kick. Cowlus the drive. Right hand scoop shot off the glass. Score the field goal, and she'll go to the line. They're going to call that on the floor?
It appears so. If called it on the floor before the shot got put up by Collis.
Interesting calls here by the officials, to say the least, because I don't know how she was not granted continuation on that one.
Clearly looked like she was going up prior to the foul.
Inbounded to Cowlus with 18. .12 on the clock. Harriman surveying. They get it to Destiny Johnson on the left wing. Pick and roll between Johnson and Breckenridge. Breckenridge shoots over Heap. Good rebound by Courtney Walker. Just push it. I have to pull it back. Heap downhill. The drive gets to the 10. And a nice job by Alexis Heap finishing with her offhand.
Saw the lane right through the middle and took full advantage of it.
Yeah, that's what I like to see from Alexis Heap offensively, putting her head down and getting to the 10. Harriman the drive, back to the basket. Harriman left hand shot, no good. The rebound. Pace starting to pick up here as this third quarter begins. Mason inside finds Alexis Heap. What a beautiful feed. Mackenzie Mason putting on her binoculars for that sweet feed.
Once again, Heap down inside the paint. Nice, easy layup.
Will extend this Bison lead to 12. Chance defense coming from the Bison sideline. Cowlus getting downhill. Cowlus working on Walker. Left hand shot, no good. Rebound controlled by Alexis Heap, and she's pushing. Heap over to Mason. Thought about a triple, will drive. Mackenzie Mason, left hand, scoop shot, up and good. Mackenzie Mason slithering into the lane.
I questioned her decision to pull it back on that triple opportunity, but she had the vision to drive through the paint and got that one in for two.
Foul called on the floor. It'll be Nikki Bradbury checking in. High school teammate Mackenzie Mason, who's had a strong start to this third quarter. It'll be Destiny Johnson inbound for Thiel with 21 seconds on the shot. Harriman serving. Harriman the drive. Harriman turns her back and he's fouled. Nice job by Harriman on the attack. She draws contact from Molly Grayson. We'll send Emily Harriman to the free throw line. Coming to Harriman, a 43% free throw shoot. Substitution checking in for Thiel. It'll be Destiny Merriweather checking in for India Phillips. As Harriman unable to sink her first free throw.
Release looked very awkward.
Yeah, definitely. It probably has led to some of her struggles at the free throw line on the season, as we've been shooting just 43% from the charity stripe entering tonight's contest. Coach Rob Clune will call a full timeout. With 5:32 left to go here in the second quarter, it is a 48-35 Bison lead. As we mentioned, second game in 5 nights Bison. Regular season concludes Saturday at 4 p.m. as the Bison host the defending PAC champion Grove City Wolverines. Shelly Foose and her squad looking to remain undefeated as they enter the conference tournament.
Bison will get a nice week off after that tough matchup on Saturday.
Yeah, as we mentioned, Drew, a nice rest before the commitment of the PAC tournament. Double-edged sword there with rest, Drew. It sometimes can be good to have continuity entering the postseason. You know, coming off with multiple practices in a row, multiple games in a row, gives you a chance to stay in rhythm. But now that they are going to have to deal with the 1 week layoff. It'll be interesting to see how they're able to combat it.
They'll probably need rest after 3 games in 5 nights.
Walker will get it off the timeline. You notice Thiel applying a lot more pressure. Slip pass from Molly Grayson inside to Kelsey Montel, and another good feed from another one of these Bison guards.
Not going to keep Montel away from the paint, so great, and again, just great job and great recognition by Montel to find that sweet spot.
Tomcats working with it offensively. Bison have their largest lead of the night at 15. Destiny Johnson forced to pick up her dribble. Niala Jones, long deuce, couldn't hit. Destiny Johnson stays in it. Will get the offensive rebound for Thiel. Jones floater, able to hit, nothing but net. Niala Jones with a beautiful floater. Thiel continuing to show this full court pressure. Bison breaking in. Nikki Bradbury will up a triple. No good. Rebound saved by Kelsey Montel, and Coach Sansom going to call time. Be a 30-second timeout for Brian Sansom, as he wants to talk things over with his squad. It was a sloppy position there offensively.
For quite some time, it appears as if Courtney Walker had a wide open Kelsey Montel inside the three-point arc, just unable to find her for an easy layup.
As we measure the countdown to the PAC playoffs. This year around, every team will be eligible for the postseason tournament due to the new rules and regulations in place due to COVID-19. And it makes it more interesting in the regular season, Drew, because throw the records out of the window once that conference tournament starts. Whoever's playing their best ball into the tournament is normally going to be the one to come out as the champion.
When the playoffs start, anything can happen.
Mackenzie Mason thought about a triple. 10 seconds on the clock. Stinnett at a high ball screen for Molly Grayson. Stinnett top of the key triple was blocked by Des Johnson. Get it to Mason. It's nothing. That time point is there from Taylor Stinnett. Got to know the shot clock is winding down. Got to get that one up.
Appears as if she panicked there for a split second, and with just the shot clock waning down, those seconds are very precious.
An official's timeout under the basket. We have Niala Jones getting her shoe situation figured out. She'll bring the ball to the Tomcats. Destiny Johnson calling for it, loses it. Johnson, good feed inside. Hockey pass going to Breckenridge. She'll take a floater that rims in and out. Rebound fought for and controlled. Mackenzie Mason, they'll get a jump ball, and possession will go with the Bison. Not the first time this season we've seen Mackenzie Mason stick her face in.
Absolutely not. She's aggressive. She's gritty. She's going to fight for everything.
Mason will inbound and had it knocked away behind by Destiny Johnson. Mason gets on the floor, and love the hustle display from Mackenzie Mason, keeping that possession alive for the Bison.
It's just a matter of how bad you want it there, and Mason wanted it more.
Yeah, you just love the physical brand style of basketball that Mackenzie Mason plays with, embracing the contact. You see multiple times contests, she'll keep her dribble alive, trying to keep things going, despite the attack. 15 on the clock. High ball screen from Stinnett. Bradbury kicked to Mason. Mason thought about a three. She'll drive. Offensive foul is called. Coach Sansom made it on the Bison sideline with some frustration with the lack of execution there. It has been a slow start offensively in the third quarter for the Bison. Thiel showing much more ball pressure. Phillips loses it on the sideline. Stolen by Grayson. Bison in transition. Courtney Walker cross-court pass. They'll swing it around. It finds Mackenzie Mason. Left corner is no good. Destiny Johnson roll the rebound.
Bison just have to calm themselves down here, get this one back under control.
Yeah, they're being too unselfish. They had numbers on fast break. You got to be aggressive and get a shot up. Ball stolen. It's working with it. Bradbury working with it. Now Walker. They'll throw it inside. Courtney Walker. Kick it out. Molly Grayson. She thought about a 3. 6 on the clock. Mackenzie Mason from downtown couldn't hit. And a jump ball. That time the smallest player on the floor, Molly Grayson, mixing it down there with the bigs of Thiel.
Yeah, Molly Grayson had them clearly controlled off the glass. And Rachel Breckenridge came in at the last, getting in the zone and forced a jump ball.
It's a 50-37 Bison lead. 2 minutes and change left to go in the third. It's been a slow start offensively for both squads coming out of the locker room. Nowhere to go with that time as it's blocked. And running in transition, Mackenzie Mason. Mason will find Courtney Walker. She'll line up a triple. Bucket. Courtney Walker knocking down her 3rd triple.
That's the momentum this Bison needed to get back to their scoring ways as we saw in the first 2 quarters.
Jones working against Bradbury. Jones, tough shot off the glass, couldn't get it. Montel pushing. Montel with Jones to beat. Montel will put back, and the Bison end up with no points on that possession as Nikki Bradbury unable to hit. Just lack of awareness there on the transition offense from the Bison. Had a 2-on-1 fast break, able to capitalize. Cal's drive had it blocked. Scoble pushing. Scoble will pick up her dribble. Kick it out to Courtney Walker. She thought a triple. Walker put her head down, drives, and is fouled. They're going to get the foul called on Destiny Merriweather, and that'll send Courtney Walker back to the 3 stripe, where she's 2 for 2 on the.
I thought Bella Scope was going to go coast to coast there, rebounding that one off defensive glass, driving over half-court line, just pulling it back, and great feed to Courtney Walker, drawing a foul.
Walker missed the first of 2 free throws. Will keep this Bison lead at 16. Walker misses both. Phillips working on Montel. Phillips had a good idea trying to go backdoor to the list, but it's knocked out of bounds by Nikki Bradbury. And possession will stay with the Tomcats. It'll be Niala Jones, the inbound Tomcats. Gets it into Phillips. Her jumper is way off. Rebound gold by Montel. Alexis Reed pushing. Reed head. They'll pull it back. It's a 3-second difference in the shot clock and game clock. Tomcats showing pressure. Scoble with 11 on the clock. Montel working on Phillips. Montel left hand finish, get it. Offensive rebound controlled. Montel slid up.
Looked like she was tripped there, questioning why the officials didn't call a trip.
Been numerous short conversations over on that Bison sideline between Coach Sansom and the official. And it'll be another short conversation on the Bison sideline with Coach Sansom and the official as we wrap up the 3rd quarter. It's a 16-point Bison lead with 10 minutes left to go. Kelsey Montel joining the scoring party. She's got 11. But the Bison have been paced this evening by Courtney Walker.
This conversation between Coach Sansom and the officials much longer than the previous ones, even as Coach Sansom's walking towards his team. still giving the official an earful.
Yeah, and one thing about Coach Sansom, he's going to stick up for his players. Got to respect the heck out of it. And you love to play for a guy like that who's going to fight for you right or wrong. But more so in this game, you know, he's been arguing some calls that have been pretty questionable, Drew.
Absolutely. I mean, okay, 1, 2 kind of go either way, but beyond that, you really have to let the officials know that you're keeping track, and that's multiple calls that haven't gone your way.
Bison will start with the ball to get the fourth quarter underway. Bison looking to win their second straight. Scoble inside to Montel. Good feed. Montel couldn't finish with the right hand. Bison got to be careful. They had a letdown Tuesday night in that fourth quarter, allowing Waynesburg to claw their way back into it. Cannot do the same here tonight. Good defense here from the Bison. Nice job there by Alexis Heap denying Destiny Johnson the ball. Good switch there from the Bison. Beautiful possession here defensively. Johnson drove Bradbury, no call. And a masterful defensive possession there from the Bison.
Rob Clune not happy at all about that no call.
Bella Scoble took a long triple. We get a foul called on Montel. She was on the floor battling with India Phillips, trying to control the rebound. Chance at D up from the Bison sideline. Good lead to Phillips under the basket. She'll turn over the right hand, couldn't finish. Offensive rebound controlled by Callis, and she'll score the field goal and go to the line to try to complete the three-point play.
Just what we've talked about before, a lack of ambition for the Bison to rebound off the glass in those contested situations, giving the Tomcats another extra chance.
Callis misses the free throw. Mackenzie Mason getting the rebound and pushing. Mason working. Get it to Courtney Walker. High ball screen from Heap. Walker in trouble. Gets it to Mason. Mason driving all the way. And will finish with the left hand. Mackenzie Mason making it her job to get right into the heart of the Tomcat defense once again.
If you're going to go in for the kill, go quick and hard with the heart.
Nice job by Mason defending Breckenridge as they're trying to get her the ball. Boy, Harriman forced to keep it because Mackenzie Mason and Alexis Heap were doing a masterful job most of that possession, denying Breckenridge and Johnson the ball. Unfortunately, Thiel able to kiss one off the glass. It'll cut this lead to 14. Well, that time could have called a foul on Johnson. You heard the slap up here, Drew.
Without a doubt.
14 on the shot clock. Mackenzie Mason working. To Walker. To Heap. Heap crosses over. We'll get it to Mason, left corner. Mackenzie Mason. Good hit. Destiny Johnson the rebound. Look out. Johnson the freight train down the lane. Tried to dish it to Callis. Would be knocked out of bounds by Mason. And you see, it's like a parting of the Red Sea when Destiny Johnson gets the ball in transition. Bison defenders getting out of harm's way.
Absolutely, and it was left up to Alexis Heap down there in the paint to stand up to Destiny Johnson.
Ball inbounded to Breckenridge. We'll get a timeout from Rob Clune. With 7:04 left to go here in the contest, it is a 14-point Bison lead. Rob Klum's squad struggling to get the lid off the basket. You know, here at the start of this fourth, Coach Klum's squad coming off their first win of the season in a hotly contested contest against Franciscan on Monday night.
They were down 31-15 at the half and went on to win that game 61-59.
Yeah, this Thiel Tomcat team, you know, they play with the identity instilled in them by head coach Rob Klum. This is year 9 for Rob Klum at the head of this Thiel women's basketball program. We saw one of Rob Klum's prized possessions the other night in Jess Vollmaker on the sideline coaching for Waynesburg. See Johnson to the hoop, score the field goal. And she just trucked over Taylor Stinnett in or out to the hoop.
Destiny Johnson doing what she does best, bulldozing her way through defenders.
Thought we'd see more of Destiny Johnson on the offensive end in that first half, and you could just watch, Drew, as we've seen the other schools in the conference. You got to agree, Drew, nobody with the body control and movement of Destiny Johnson. She's so fluid as a player.
Oh, without a doubt. She's
ball inbounded to Stinnett. Stinnett in trouble. We'll get it to Walker. Walker the drive, spinning. Right-hand hook shot, no good. Phillips the rebound, and watch out. Shades of what we saw Tuesday night. Bad offense in the half court. Destiny Johnson working with it. Couldn't get it to go that time. Good defense from Stinnett. But the Bison got to value their possessions here in this fourth quarter. Cannot take bad shots as they're only up 11. Grayson will use the Tennant ball screen. Will kick it out to Mackenzie Mason. Long ball is good. Dirty 30 getting hot from downtown. Mackenzie Mason will push this lead back to 14. Breckenridge working on Mason. Harriman out instructions. Be 13 on the shot clock for the Tomcats. Callis over to Johnson. Johnson will take a long two. It's no good. Rebound controlled. And they're going to get a foul called. They're going to get Rachel Callis. She tried to tie up Stinnett. Substitutions for both squads. It'll be Alexis Heap and Kelly Mintel for the Bison, and Nyala Jones will check back in for Coach Klum's squad. Courtney Walker to inbound. She'll get it to Heap. Good outlet pass to Grayson. Bison that time doing a nice job in transition, breaking the press. Not the shot you would have liked, but boy, a sigh of relief there on the sideline as assistant coach Steve Thompson looked like he took a muscle relaxer after that shot, as he was just pleased to see it go through. Breckenridge's three is no good. Alexis Heap pushing. Heap will kick it to Walker. Right corner triple is short for Walker. She follows it and gets her own board. Couldn't hit. Destiny Johnson the board. Jones pushing. She'll lose it. And Scoble able to come up with it. It's been a track meet here the last 2 minutes and change.
Bison have to find a way to slow this one down. You're up 16, under 5 to go. Control the clock as much as you can.
One of the closers getting set to check in for the Bison. Nikki Bradbury just went to the scorer's table. Good kick to Scoble. Scoble for three. It's good. Bella Scoble on the feed from Courtney Walker. And it's been a stat sheet stuffing performance for Courtney Walker here tonight. Getting her teammates involved, taking charges, knocking down triples, doing it all for Coach Sansom's squad. Jones triples up, and it'll bounce around and in. Nyala Jones has hit about every part of the basket here tonight. That time getting one to drop.
I don't think I've seen a bounce off the rim as unique as that one found a way to get in the basket.
Beautiful pass inside the Heap. Couldn't finish as Destiny Johnson able to recover and commit the foul. Good awareness there from Molly Grayson. Find wide open Alexis Heap under the basket. Breckenridge will come out. Alexis Heap at the free throw line. It would have hit the first of two. Will increase the lead to 17. And the lead will stay at that. Johnson the rebound. 17-point game with 4 minutes left to go. Jones the drive. Couldn't get it to Montel, controls the board. Grayson pushing. Bison looking to work some clock here. Up 17 in the fourth. Scoble. Scoble working. Will kick to Heap. Swing it back around. They'll find Molly Grayson, and she knocks down a triple. The Bison have been absolute marksmen from downtown here tonight.
We saw the past 2-3. Molly Grayson has really struggled to get her shots down. That's not the case tonight.
Yeah, and couldn't come at a better time to find their distance with just one game remaining until the PAC playoffs. As we mentioned when this season started, it wouldn't be how the Bison looked to start. It would be how they finished down the stretch. And they've got the opportunity tonight, barring anything unforeseen, to enter Saturday's season finale with 2 straight.
Need all the momentum you can get going into Grove City.
Cannot agree with you more. It'll be a hotly contested contest Saturday night. Stolen by Mackenzie Mason. Mason in transition will finish with the left hand, and that'll balloon this lead to 22. It's been a nice all-around performance from the Bison. Phillips working on Samaria Murray. They'll get a foul call.
See Coach Sansom starting to go deeper into his bench on Samaria Murray and Grace Omsinski, getting them some minutes here inside the final 3 of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I know he's always being able to do that. This team has earned the right to play some of their guys who don't play as much. Valuable opportunity, though, here, Drew, with 2:55 left to go to be some extended minutes. Get a timeout call. So we take another look ahead, Drew. PAC tournament getting ready to start here in a few weeks. As we mentioned multiple times throughout the broadcast, the Bison will host the defending PAC champion Grove City Wolverines on Saturday in a game that Coach Brian Sansom termed a measuring type of game. Trying to see how his young team stacks against the conference's elite.
As we've said before, you got to beat the best to be the best.
The Bison are currently in that 6th seed in the PAC. They are trying to continue to climb the standings. They can get as high as 4. And they would need some help for that to happen. Alexis Heap will inbound it to Reed. Get it back to Heap. Heap driving. Heap putting her head down. Heap. You get to the line and draw contact. Alexis Heap pulling out do-it-yourself kit. Alexis Heap more known for her defensive. That time showing how much of a threat she can be on the offensive end, pushing it coast to coast. Just the first of two. Coach Sansom saying he feels Alexis Heap is a player who hasn't fully tapped into her potential yet. You see her prowess on the defensive end. Something that's going to be relied on heavily come playoff time. Jones' long deuce is no good. Reed pushing in transition. Up ahead to Murray. Murray the good catch. Murray gathers, puts it up, couldn't finish. .260 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Bison have a 20-point lead over the Thiel Tomcats. Beautiful feed there from Jones. Thiel just unable to finish. We're going to get some more subs into the game for the Bison, as well as Thiel.
Coach Sansom emptying his bench here, utilizing Abby Reichert and Sophie Morey, the last two players who have not been in the game prior to now.
Masterful performance here this evening from the Bison, picking up where they left off in that second half against Waynesburg. Travel called on Sheenot. We mentioned Sheenot earlier on in the broadcast. Found himself a spot in the rotation, giving the Bison big some rest. Kelsey Mintel, Alexis Heap, Taylor Stinnett, Macy Sheenot has entered herself into that conversation as well, as Nyala Jones hits a long triple.
Want to be successful in the playoffs, you got to have the depth, and Macy Sheen providing exactly that.
1:11 left. Sheenot will enter it into Murray. Murray kicks it out, three-point shot, and off the glass and in. That time it was Serency. Excuse me, Richard. After the Tomcats will fall to 1-5 on the season. Bison will, in all likelihood, improve to 500 with a record of 4-4. One game remaining in the regular season, as we mentioned. They get to host the defending champs Saturday afternoon.
How big would that be going into the tournament, winning 3 in a row?
Yeah, it'd be a big 3. Shot violation there for Thiel. Bison will get possession. Shot clock turned off. All likelihood will be the final possession of the game. The back and forth first quarter, Drew, but in that second, the Bison were able to pull away. They have now stretched the lead to 20.
They kicked it into another gear starting in that second quarter like that, and they haven't looked back.
No, they have not. A strong performance from downtown for the Bison. As we mentioned, they shot 50% in the first half from 3. It's more same there in that second. That'll do it. Our final score, 72-52. Bison secure their second straight win and now have just the season finale remaining before they enter the conference tournament. So they'll host Shelley Foose and the Grove City Wolverines on Saturday afternoon in a highly anticipated contest, one that I'm Definitely looking forward to seeing how the young Bison team stacks up against the defending champs. Drew, was a strong performance here. They would pick up where they left off that second half against Waynesburg.
Without a doubt, you were questioning whether the start was going to be different, and to be quite honest, it was much different. Came out firing immediately. Thiel kept in it that first quarter, just unable to keep that pace throughout all 4 quarters.
And Drew, the perfect example of just how dangerous the Bison can be offensively when they're able to stretch the floor and mount some long balls. It makes them much more difficult to defend.
Oh, without a doubt. When you stretch the court, utilize all areas, hit deuces, hit triples, really makes you hard to defend.
Yeah, Drew, something to keep an eye on move forward is the defensive strategy. Coach Brian Sansom, as we saw the last 2 contests, last 3 games really, starting on Saturday against St. Vincent, show some of that full court pressure, throwing in some different wrinkles to throw off opposing offense, get closer to the conference tournament. And Saturday it'll be a battle of teams that really like to press it better. As Foosa's squad known for their 40 minutes of hell brand of basketball, as we're getting ready to be joined by the head coach of the Bethany Bison team on the heels of a 20-point victory against Thiel. Coach, that's 2 in a row here heading into the season finale. You guys are trending in the direction at the right time.
Hey, you know, what we talked about all year is playing great basketball at the beginning of the year. You know, cool, but you're going to hit a wall somewhere, you know, and we're starting to figure it out a little bit. You know, learn how to play with each other a little bit. You know, this would be game what? So we play 7 non-conference before we play conference, right?
Right.
We're hitting stride if this was a regular season, you know, and they're just learning. I mean, there's times we got 4 freshmen out there playing ball, and, you know, I'm proud of them. You know, that was a tough game on Tuesday with Waynesburg, and then we came here and we battled, you know, challenged them. If that was obvious after the first quarter, we had a nice little pep talk over there. You know, that we'll leave over there now. But I'm proud of them. Great effort today. Team's resilient, man. They're fun to coach. They're fun to be with.
Not to take away tonight, but within the last 40 hours, you've landed 2 recruits for next season. How important is it to balance building a program, but also focusing on winning here? You
know, we want to celebrate the team that we have. We want to celebrate the ones that we got in. You know, we want people to come when they come in here. We're trying to create an environment. You know, I've failed as a coach a few times with my recruiting. You know, with you know, just not doing my job good enough, and we're trying to do things different. And you know, this is fun, and I will say that recruit comes on campus, they leave here feeling like they're part. You know, and that's cool. You know, I could do my part, but in the long run, they got to mesh with the team that's here. And our ladies do a great job of welcoming them. You know, it's leave here and not want to come back.
Yeah, and Coach, and as you mentioned, you're trying to establish a culture and build a program here. Your opponents on Saturday, the defending PAC champion, Coach Foosa's squad, has done just that. A perennial winner. What challenges do they bring in on Saturday night?
You know, they play extra hard. They press you for 40 minutes, not what the score is. You know, so we got to be ready to handle. You know, we had 9 turnovers tonight, 14 night before. Hey, if we want to keep 14 and below, you know, and we faced some pressure tonight, we maybe turn it over once against it. That's going to be key, is taking care of the ball, trying to create a half-court game with them. Running our offenses, beat it.
Well, we got one more in the season, Coach. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
That is going to wrap up our post-game coverage. For John Sile, my name is Linnell Willingham. This has been the Bethany Broadcast Network's presentation of PAC basketball, streamed live on YouTube.